Bonjour and welcome to France. Today is Thursday, August 3rd. The time is 3:30 p.m. and the temperature is around 18 degrees Celsius. And as you can see, it's currently raining. And off in the distance is the very tip of the Eiffel Tower. And in that direction is the skyline of what I assume is the central business district, although it's quite foggy and you can barely see it. And this is actually my second day ever in France. And for this one, I'll be walking through the Arc de Triomphe and then heading down the Champs-Élysées. And I apologize ahead of time for what will surely be numerous mispronunciations of the French language on this one, as my voice starts to get a little hoarse. But this is one of the most famous avenues, if not the most famous avenue in the world. We'll be heading along. And I think there's 12 different avenues surrounding the Arc de Triomphe here, which was built in the early 1800s. As a monument to one of Napoleon's victories. And if it wasn't raining, I'd probably pull out my phone and look stuff up on the way. But we're gonna have to wing it. It's various, what I guess are plaques in the ground here. Please don't mistake this for any type of guided tour around Paris. We're really just going for a walk and making some observations. So there is a metro station that you can access just by going down this walkway. Then you'll pop up on the other side, I think over there. And there's a number of lines at that station. But there's the Champs-Élysées straight ahead. And a better view of the Eiffel Tower. I haven't seen anyone try to cross this traffic circle on foot. It's probably not advised. So what I'll do is I'll take an underground tunnel here and we'll pop up on the other side. It was not raining when I made my way over here. It just started to rain about 10 minutes ago. And we tried to go up the Arc de Triomphe, but the line to buy tickets was quite long. And one of the reasons for this, I think, is the website to buy tickets is down. We tried to buy tickets online, and it was not working, and then we came here and saw a rather long line. And once you're through here, you have to wait to make the hike up to the top. Once again, right where I was standing at the start of this video. So I'll try to come back and go up top. Maybe I'll do that later tonight. I got into Paris late yesterday morning, and I did a night cruise on the river here, or a sunset cruise. And I went out for lunch, and that was charcuterie. And then I had a beef dinner dish. And after some drinks, I did breakfast at the hotel this morning, and then I came out here. So again, this is one of the 12 avenues that extends from that traffic circle. But this one being the most famous of all. And I am walking in the direction of the Louvre Museum. And earlier, there was some street busking going on right here. And I think the rain has scared that away. And you can also head into the metro right there. This is kind of like Fifth Avenue in a way. There's a lot of high-end retailers on this street. There's Cartier. Oops, I guess we just walked against the signal there. It does have bike lanes. Kind of reminds me of a mix between Fifth Avenue and Central in Amsterdam. In fact, so far, Paris kind of reminds me a bit of Amsterdam on steroids. Everything seems a bit wider, taller, and grander. And I'm only here for 5 nights. Otherwise, I might have planned to come back and do this when it wasn't raining. There's a lot of these cafes in Paris, which are pricier anywhere near a tourist area. Also, I've heard the food might not be up to the same standards of other places in Paris, and one of the reasons for that is they don't really rely on repeat customers. There's so many tourists passing by here every day that they're going to be busy no matter what. But you certainly get some excellent people watching. And I popped into this McDonald's just to use the bathroom on the way up, but you have to be a customer, so I got a quick bite. And I was able to substitute the drink with a hamburger meal for a Heineken at no extra charge. So I thought that was kind of neat. It was also interesting that the lineup to the ladies' bathroom was about 50 people deep, and they had to show proof that they were customers to get in. And that's actually what made me go order food when I saw someone checking the receipts at the ladies' bathroom when I walked by, but for the men's bathroom, they weren't doing that, so I could have just gone in without buying food. Oh well, that'll be the only McDonald's meal on this trip, I hope. So I think Champs-Élysées is about 2 kilometers in length. This is kind of a classic French-style bistro with the burgundy signage. I ate at a place in New York called Balthazar. That was in this style. And we're at another metro station. There's a movie theater in here. Some people getting a little wet on the top of a hop-on, hop-off tour bus. Tootbus.com. There's an Apple store. There's another street parallel to this, just off to the left, that has a lot of ultra high-end luxury shops. I think there's an Hermes there. But maybe I'll cross over and we'll check out the other side of the street. Sign said, oh, there we go. It flashed from walk to don't walk to walk, unless I'm just seeing things. There's the Arc de Triomphe. Apparently about 3,000 cars per day come here, but that can't be right. It must be much higher than that. I must be misremembering that. But the city is trying to quiet the traffic congestion on this famous avenue. The mayor is quite actively trying to expand and enhance the bicycle network, as well as make the city more walkable. The metro system here is world class. It's been quite easy to navigate. I bought a 5-day pass from the machine when I got here. I think it was about 44 euros. And I think that's about $2.10 per trip. So it might have been better value just to pay as I go, but I like the convenience of just having one ticket that I don't have to worry about. I can just go on and off as I please without having to buy a ticket for every trip. There's a Lambo. That's a Nike store. This is the only city I'll be visiting on this trip in France, but I will be taking a high-speed rail train to another city after this. If you're wondering what prices are like here, a burger, 20.5 euros. Fish and chips, 19.9 euros. Again, you don't pay, or again, rather for the first time, you don't pay tax, and tips aren't expected, which is quite nice. So 20.5 euros at a touristy restaurant might seem like a lot, but considering that's your all-in price, it's actually a fair deal. In fact, I found Toronto is probably the more expensive of the two cities, just based on my short experience. And apparently this place is quite popular. And their store is undergoing some kind of renovation. And I think when big chain stores started to appear on the street, there was a lot of resistance. But eventually they started popping up. And I think by the mid-2000s, pretty much most of the world's major brands were here, or in the area. There's a Sephora on that side of the street, a Levi's, a Zara. There's a shoe store. I may have checked that out on the way. They've got some color combinations I haven't seen in Toronto for some different shoes. Iran Air. Oh, is that an A380? No, that's a Boeing. The airline of the Islamic Republic of Iran. There's a gallery on the street. And France is gearing up, or rather Paris, to host the Summer Olympics in 2024. There's the Five Guys. There's a lineup. Or just a bunch of people standing around. I think that's what that was. Salad, steak and fries, 19.9 euros. That is a hell of a deal. I'm going to guess there's better places to get a steak frites here. There's one place that does unlimited steak frites. I think I'll be checking out. Just make sure the camera lens is holding up. It appears to be. The forecast is for on and off rain all day today. And it rained a little bit yesterday. This is supposed to be the middle of summer. And typically days would be in their high 20s to low 30s, but got a little bit lucky, I guess, in that regard. Hopefully I remember to edit out that cough. If not, I apologize. Cafe di Roma. I've heard there's a lot of pickpockets and three-card money scams and that sort of thing. I haven't really seen so much of it. There's the movie theater. Indiana Jones, Elemental, Barbie, Mission Impossible, Oppenheimer.
David.
There's a Lululemon across the street next to a Foot Locker. So I think if I keep heading in this direction, there'll be a large park. And then on the other side of that will be the famous Louvre Museum. I don't think I'll get that far. I took the subway to here on line 9. I forget the name of the station I arrived at, but I left from Republic, which is near my hotel. There's an obelisk just off in the distance. I think that's near the Place de Concorde. Oh, the Eiffel Tower is just over there. I think Paris, as a city, has a population of just over 2 million people. And in the greater urban metro areas, around 10 million. And I think this street is named after Franklin Roosevelt. I don't really see any street signs. Let me take a quick peek at Google Maps and see where I am. Which is kind of hard to do when you've got an umbrella in one hand. Yep, this is Franklin Roosevelt. And that is a famous theater just on the left. Theater du Rond Point. Maybe we can get lost here and see if I can find my way back to Champs-Élysées. Some more shopping over there. one of these buildings around here is being prepared to host some Olympic events. My watch is congratulating me on 10,000 steps. And I think we have stumbled upon one of the most famous buildings in the city. Something you've probably seen in Mission Impossible and a number of movies. There's a restaurant called Le Grand Palais. I think it's this building here on the right coming up with the large glass roof. There's often some kind of gala or ball, and some type of secret agent will enter through the roof. And I think it's fencing that they're planning on holding here. This is it on the right. I think that might be the Grand Palais. We talked about this, or the tour guide did, on the cruise last night. I think it was built in 1900. He said there's a building you might recognize from various movies. There's an entrance to the Champs-Élysées. Looks like Champs-Élysées. If you are planning a trip to Paris and you want to know more about the city, I'd recommend Jay Swanson's channel. I believe he's an American expat who lives here, and he has covered the city quite in depth. Certainly don't rely on my videos. There's a large park up ahead, and I don't even know what it is. And running this channel, that's where I'm a bit conflicted, because when I explore cities, before I did this, I used to just kind of show up and play it by ear and make a new plan every day and set out to explore whatever city I was visiting by foot and see what I would run into. But when I do that, recording videos like this, people can be kind of critical in the comments. Like when I went through Old Montreal for the first time, there's some kind of significant building straight over there. And again, I'd normally be tempted to cheat and look that up on my phone, but I've got an umbrella in my left hand. But we are back to Champs-Élysées. So the Arc de Triomphe, where I started, is way off in the distance there. I'm pretty sure Tom Cruise has entered through the ceiling of that building. Ooh, there are toilets in 200 meters. Maybe I'll cross over at the next one. But we're heading towards the obelisk. That was the site of the French Revolution guillotine. Yeah, these traffic lights are working. Maybe I can cross here. Looks like we're about to change. Do I want to push my luck? So let me see if I can one-hand Google Maps here. So across the street is a park called Jardin des Champs-Élysées. There's a classic view. I don't know if my camera is able to pick up the Arc de Triomphe. There's the washrooms, or the salle de bain. It says Bano toilets. I think you probably have to pay to use those. Peter de la Ville. One of the really great things about Paris is, at least in this area, is you're never too far from a metro station. And Google Maps will sort out from where you are to where you're going via the metro. I think the website was mobymatter.com, where I got an eSIM. I got a 30 gig package. Most people, I think 20 gigs will be fine. That covers 30 days, and I think that's about 23 euros. Although not every phone supports eSIMs, iPhones do. And I think most modern Androids do. Hot dogs, sandwiches, crepes. But my one Android doesn't, my main phone, my S20 FE. So I've currently got my iPhone in my backpack, hotspotting to my Android. And that way, way off in the distance there is the Louvre, if I'm not mistaken. And this looks like a very wide street I'm about to cross. There's a lot of e-scooters in Paris, but these streets don't look like the best for riding around on tiny wheels. Oh, we've got the walk sign here. So this is Place de Concorde straight ahead. Those look like Parliament buildings on the left. Hotel de Quillian, a Rosewood resort. Well, that's a very high-end resort. That's what I think it is right there. Actually, I think that's the French Parliament just over to the right. I seem to remember that from the boat tour last night. Again, a guided tour of Paris, this isn't. So we are at the end of the world famous street. Arc de Triomphe in that direction. Eiffel Tower just over there. All presents du Roi Louis Philippe. It's kind of like a mini Washington monument. Apparently this is where there was a guillotine. Trying to look at Google Maps, but my phone has some raindrops on it, and it's hard to use the touchscreen. So if I look left here, that is where Air Maze would be, on the other side of these buildings. Oh, there's a red light runner. I believe it says walk. There's no traffic light. Oh, we have the walk sign. That car there is a Bolt. I first took Bolt when I was in Thailand, and it's like a cheaper alternative to Grab in that country, or I guess Uber here. There's a creperie. There's a big Ferris wheel. I'm sure I'm walking by all kinds of significant sites. Renovation and accessibility improvement. The Louvre something or other. And for all the people complaining about the green water in downtown Toronto's Love Park, get a load of this little pond. Oh, there's like a spinny ride. Is that the Louvre where I'm facing right now? No, it's Musée de l'Oranger. And Place de Carousel is straight ahead. And on that note, we made it to Place de Concorde. I think we're gonna wrap this one up. Oh, the Ferris wheel's moving. I gotta play detective and figure out where to go from here. So I hope you enjoyed this walk from the Arc de Triomphe along Champs-Élysées, not de, I don't know why I put a D in there. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below if you've ever been to Paris. I'd be curious to hear what your thoughts and impressions are. And go easy on me in the comments over my mispronunciations and countless historical sites missed. Although I certainly enjoy reading them. And I think it does add value to the video, so if you want to point things out, feel free to let me know down below. I have an Instagram account at Johnny Strides, and there is a super thanks button appearing below the video if you wish to say thanks that way. Anyways, from Paris, au revoir, and I will be back soon. Yoink.